The Knickerbocker group was established in the 19th century. The chief members of the Knickerbocker group were James Fennimore Cooper, John Cullen Bryant, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, and Washington Irving. The group derived its name from an imaginary character portrayed by Washington Irving. The Knickerbocker group also had a mouthpiece in a literary magazine called Knickerbocker, which began in 1833. Welcome back to Literature Guide. The Hartford Wits were the undergraduate students of the Yale University. This group was formed during the American Revolution. The chief figures of the Hartford Wits were Joel Barlow, Timothy Dwight, John Trumbull, David Humphreys, Lemuel Hopkins, and others. The group was inspired by the writings of Alexander Pope and Joseph Edison. I have already published videos on Scribbler's Club, Kit Kat Club, Blue Stockings Group, and Lunar Society. You can watch all these videos on this channel, Literature Guide. If you want to get more information, you can visit a website. The link of the website is there on the screen. I am very much thankful to my subscribers and non-subscribers for their great support to this channel. Let's dive into a video and enjoy the video.
Knickerbocker Group. The term Knickerbocker has been derived from a burlesque called A History of New York from the beginning of the world to the end of the Dutch dynasty by Washington Irving. It was published under a pseudonym as Diederik Knickerbocker in 1809. The term Knickerbocker became famous with the publication of Irving's comic history of an imaginary Dutchman named Diederik Knickerbocker. The Knickerbocker School was a loose group of American writers of the early 19th century. It comprised some renowned writers of the period like Washington Irving, James Fennimore Cooper, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, and William Cullen Bryant. Though these writers had no common purpose, they were associated with the New York State when it became an epicenter of literary activity. The Knickerbocker School of Writers had a mouthpiece in a literary magazine named Knickerbocker Magazine, which began in New York City in 1833. It was edited by Charles Fenno Hoffman. Arthur Compton Rickett aptly remarks, "In many ways Irving is to American prose what Longfellow is to its poetry. He is varied, wholesome, and attractive writer." Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, another member of the group, is chiefly known for his poetry. His poetical work, The Song of Hiawatha, appeared on the literary scene in 1858. It is modeled on Indian folk tales. It is written in an unrhymed octosyllabic verse, a verse made up of 4 metrical feet comprising 8 syllables. The octosyllabic verse was in vogue in medieval period. James Fennimore Cooper is another important member of the Knickerbocker School. He is best known for his group of the Leatherstocking novels. The Leatherstocking series comprised 5 novels. The first novel of the group, named The Pioneers, was published in 1823, The Last of the Mohicans in 1826 and The Prairie in 1827. The other 2 novels, The Pathfinder, was published in 1840 and The Deerslayer appeared in 1841. The Leatherstocking novels deal with tales of frontier life in Indian region. They are called after the deerskin stockings of the hero Natty Bumppo. It is important to note that James Fennimore Cooper has often been compared with Sir Walter Scott. He has been hailed as the American Walter Scott. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's another famous work, The Courtship of Miles Standish, was published in 1858. It is based on a New England legend. His Tales of a Wayside Inn is modeled on Geoffrey Chaucer's famous poem Canterbury Tales, which written in melodious hexameter. It was published in 1863. William Cullen Bryant earned name and fame with the publication of his poem in blank verse named Thanatopsis in 1817. Most of his poems are inspired by William Wordsworth. His work Thanatopsis is a meditation on death. There is fine blending of purity and precision in his poetry. It was published in the literary periodical North American Review. Hartford Wits, or Connecticut Wits. It was a literary group of writers of Connecticut who trod on the path of the two great English writers Alexander Pope and Joseph Addison. The Hartford Wits are also known as Connecticut Wits, which appeared on the literary scene about the period of the American Revolution between 1765 and 1791. The members of the Hartford Society were undergraduates of the Yale University. They had conservative tastes in literature and politics. Their philosophical principles were also conservative. The leading members of the Hartford Wits were Joel Barlow, Timothy Dwight, John Trumbull, David Humphreys, Lemuel Hopkins, and Elihu Hubbard Smith. Joel Barlow, one of the chief members of the Connecticut Wits, composed a lengthy patriotic epic poem called The Vision of Columbus, which was published in 1787. In 1807, the title of the poem was changed as the Columbiad when it was revised. The Columbiad was written in heroic couplets. Another important work of Joel Barlow is his mock epic The Hasty Pudding, which was published in 1796. The Hartford Wits bitterly attacked social and political evils, including the obsolete and outdated curriculum, in sarcastic vein. The most important work of the Hartford Wits is the Anarchiad, which was composed jointly by David Humphreys, Joel Barlow, Trumbull, and Hopkins. It is written in satiric vein and it expresses their opposition to the Articles of Confederation. In this mock epic, the Hartford Wits raised question regarding democratic society. They expressed their views in favor of federal union. Timothy Dwight wrote some poems and songs praising the soldiers of the American Revolution. Another member of the Hartford Wits, John Trumbull, composed a poem called M'Fingal in satiric vein attacking the British policy. Similarly, David Humphreys wrote a few patriotic poems such as Address to the Armies of the United States of America. Many of the members of the Connecticut group joined the Continental Army except Trumbull. With the passage of time, the Hartford Wits moved away from their goal and followed their personal interests and aspirations. Some of them left poetry and embraced politics and law, while the others continued to satirize the social evils.
How is the video? I hope you liked the video. As I have told you earlier that I have already produced many videos for you on this channel. You can get useful information in all these videos. I am very much thankful to my subscribers and non-subscribers who have given great support to this channel. If you want to get more information, you can visit a website. The link of the website is there on the screen. If you really like the content produced by this channel, do like and subscribe Literature Guide. I will meet you soon with a new and fresh topic of English literature. Meet you.
Please subscribe Literature Guide.